This video will be long. I appreciate it if you are watching the whole video in one sitting, but if your attention span is not that long, you can go to any specific part of this video by following these time codes. Okay, let me start by saying, hey, what's up crew, I salute you. Welcome to the coolest YouTube channel of the world. My name is Ina and welcome to INALIFE. So without further ado, let's get started. I never thought in my life that I'll leave my country and go abroad to study. But here I am, alone, without my family, going to a foreign university and studying computer science. It all started with my 12th grade board exam. In Bangladesh, we call it HSC or Higher Secondary School Certificate. This is the most important exam for any Bangladeshi curriculum student. And I got a GPA of 4.0 out of 5. To this date, I have no idea how I performed that badly on that important exam. I can't even explain how bad of a result it is. Getting this kind of result from a science background student is like a taboo in my country. At that time, I was depressed because I had no option to even give the entrance exam in most of the top tier universities in the country. And those where I can give the exam, they were cutting some of my points even before sitting on the exam because of my low GPA. I was seeing my future slipping out from me because of this piece of paper. All of my achievements mean nothing because of this. And luckily, if I got accepted to a university, they won't give me the flexibility to choose the subject that I wanted to study. While dealing with this, I had an idea. I told to myself, a single piece of paper can't declare my future. Why not study abroad? And then, the journey began. I searched on Google how to study abroad. At first, I was overwhelmed by the tuition fees of some of the universities. They were as high as $50,000 a year. There's no way my family can afford that. But after doing further research, I came to know that some universities offer scholarships for international students. And they want more international students to come and study at their university to create diversity on campus. But there's a problem. Because of my low GPA, most probably I won't even get any kind of scholarship because their scholarships are based on applicants' 12th grade board exam, except for the US. In the US, universities treat students as individuals and several factors play a role to get accepted to a university. Factors like SAT score, GPA, extracurricular activity, adversity, and so on. Also, most of the universities prioritize SAT more than GPA and they also give scholarships for getting a good SAT score. Yes, scholarship. Moreover, if you get admitted to a US university, you get the total flexibility to choose the subject you want to major in. So I decided what I have to do. Without wasting a single amount of time, I started preparing for the SAT and took the risk of not applying to any Bangladeshi university. Trust me, it is way harder for any non-native student to prepare for SAT. If you are one of them, I'm well aware of the struggle you had or currently having. If you are currently preparing for SAT, I recommend you to watch from this time code to know the most effective way to prepare for this exam, so that you don't do the same mistakes that I did in the beginning. Okay, back to me. In total, I gave SAT 3 times. Yes, it took me 1 whole year to ace this exam. I started preparing for the SAT in October and gave my first attempt in December. It was a disaster. I got 1020 out of 1600, which is lower than the average SAT score. On my first test, time management was the biggest problem for me. I was taking too much time for solving the problems and for that reason, I was not able to finish the test timely. But I didn't give up. I knew that getting a good SAT score was the only way to fulfill my dream. And the best part is, I can give SAT as many times as I want. There's no once in a lifetime exam type of pressure. So I cooled down my head and think about what went wrong in the exam. Then I learned from my mistakes, strengthened my English, improved my weaknesses and gave SAT 2 more times. It turned out time management was not the main problem. The thing is, if you know how to answer the questions, you can simply finish the exam in that limited amount of time. You just have to practice more and more. I still remember how much of a hard work I did after my first exam. My every week schedule was to do at least 1 practice test maintaining test conditions and learn from my mistakes so that in the future I don't do the same kind of mistake. And by maintaining this routine and doing more and more practice tests, I improved exponentially. And on my final SAT, I got a 98 percentile SAT score. A perfect 800 on math and 740 on reading and writing. From that moment, I pretty much knew that my dream can now come true. With that SAT score, I can easily get into a good university. So I quickly gave TOEFL. Luckily, I didn't have to give TOEFL more than once. I got 106 out of 120 on my first attempt. After receiving my TOEFL score, I applied to Louisiana Tech and got my acceptance letter with a decent scholarship. My dream just came true. From there is no turning back. I accepted their scholarship, got my I-20, applied for visa, and now I'm here, living without my family and surviving in this US culture. It was a hell of a ride. There was sorrow, thriller, climax, and a happy ending. It taught me a lot of things, but most importantly, it taught me to never give up, even how bad situations you have to go through. 7 steps. You only need 7 steps to follow to ace this test. First thing to do is not to buy books like Barron, Princeton Review, Kaplan, and other SAT prep books like this. Most of the time, the materials of these books are way complicated and you won't see the kind of problems of those books in the real test. So don't waste your time. Number 2. Join the subreddit r/SAT. It's a must. You can instantly connect to a lot of students who are currently preparing for this exam. But that's not why it's important. In this subreddit, you can get access to 23 official SAT test papers. That's more than enough material to ace this exam. You don't need any books, as long as you know how to use these test papers. Number 3. Download and print out one of the test papers with the bubble sheet and give the test maintaining exam conditions. No cheating is allowed. After giving the exam, evaluate yourself using the scoring PDF. Don't be sad after seeing your score. I know you are not prepared, but this step needs to be done before preparing for the exam so that you can get the idea about what you are actually dealing with. Now number 4. Here you have to spend some money, not much, only $68. I did it and I can assure you that this will be one of the best investments of your life. First, math. For math, use UWorld's 2 months SAT question bank, which has more than 2400 SAT questions with explanations. It will cost you $49. If you did all the math problems and understand UWorld's explanations, you will definitely be a math cut of SAT, and getting a perfect score on maths won't be a big deal for you. Now, reading and writing. You can just use UWorld's reading and writing question bank, but what helped me the most is 1600.io. This guy George is just a blessing. Basically on his videos, he solves official SAT test papers and gives explanations of why he got that answer. On my second SAT, my reading and writing score was 620, but on my third SAT, with the help of 1600.io, it shot up to 740. George, if you're watching this, thank you. You can start watching his free bundle, which contains 4 practice tests, and if you find the way he explains helpful, buy his all access membership for $19. Number 5. Now that you have completed all the preparation parts, print out another test paper that is completely alien to you and give the test maintaining exam conditions. Then again, evaluate yourself. A big improvement, right? But you are not done yet. Number 6. Do practice, practice, and practice. If possible, solve all the official test papers. Do print out and maintain test conditions. Learn from your mistakes and try not to repeat the same mistakes. Number 7. I actually don't know what to say here. 7 just looks a good number to end with. If you followed all the previous steps, you'll definitely get the ability to ace this exam. I told you in my last video that I'll introduce to my roommates in this video, but not all of them are currently here, so I can't introduce to all of them. Hey, how are you?
Hey, good. Why are you holding the camera?
So this is Kevin. He's doing his major in cyber engineering. He loves cooking and he helps me a lot with my homework. Before I go, I want to announce that I'm planning to upload more frequently. Yes, it's happening. At least once a week. But before I do that, I want to do a Q&A video. Ask me anything in the comment section of this video. YouTube or Facebook, I don't care. But try not to ask similar questions. I believe in my crew, so do your best because you'll be responsible for the next video. Okay, bye. What? You're going without subscribing to me? I'm in the snow with this clothes still? That's sad. You know what? I like numbers, so what are you waiting for? Just do subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Until then, stay happy.